Don't fall into the trap and be house poor. Let's talk about what this means and if you are, what you can do about it. If you're interested in buying, let's go over some quick tips to prevent becoming house poor. Stick around to the end to find out how to get my free guide to help you on your home buying path. Hi, I'm Charlotte with Birch & Cedar Realty Group. House poor is when someone spends a large portion of their income on mortgage payments, insurance, taxes, maintenance, and utilities, and then doesn't have enough money left over for groceries, other necessities, or anything for fun. Do you worry if you'll be able to afford your monthly mortgage payment each month? Do you have to go into your savings account to cover your monthly payment? Do you have trouble being able to afford the yearly maintenance on your home? Do you have trouble establishing and contributing each month to an emergency fund? Do you have trouble contributing to your retirement fund? Do you have trouble being able to afford the fun stuff that you enjoy? If you said yes to any of these questions, you might be house poor. The first thing that you should do is create a realistic budget. This way you can see what you're actually spending your money on to see if there are places you can trim back or even cut out. You also need to understand how it happened that you are in this situation. Did you buy a home that was more than you could afford? Or are you dealing with a temporary setback that is likely to resolve itself in the near future? Or were you in a good place and had a drop in income due to illness or a major life event? But it may be a situation that isn't going to resolve itself and you need to do some serious decision making. Depending on your situation, you might want to talk with a lender to see about refinancing or even restructuring the loan to see if you can bring down your monthly payments to something that will work for you financially. Another option is to sell your home and downsize into something more affordable. There are things to be aware of if you decide to go down this path, so please reach out to your accountant and to a reliable realtor like myself to make sure that it's the right decision for you. There are ways where you can trim your housing expenses to make it more manageable. I'd be happy to talk about that with you. Feel free to reach out. All my contact information is below in the description. Now, if you aren't a homeowner and you're interested in buying a house, let's talk about some ways to prevent becoming house poor. Just because the online mortgage calculator or lender says you can afford the house doesn't mean that you really can. The rule has long been that less than 30% of your income should go towards those housing expenses. Experts are now saying that it should be between 20 and 30% of your income. So tip number one is that you must create a realistic budget. You need to know how much you spend each month and what you spend it on. You also need to be aware of unexpected expenses of home ownership, as well as plan for the expected yearly home maintenance and build that into your budget. You also need to make sure that you have a plan so that you will have the funds to do the things that help you accomplish your goals, as well as the things that, make your lifestyle fun. Reminder, stick around to the end of the video to find out how to get my free guide, which includes a sample budget. Just because you can afford to buy the higher priced home doesn't mean that you should. Somewhere along the line, buyers lost sight of the concept of a starter home. I see buyers looking for their forever homes and trying to get the most house that they can afford. They will only settle for the dream home, and that's at the top of their budget, if it's even in their budget. The problem is that it can cause you to be house poor, and that can happen quickly if there are any changes to your income or if you don't plan for some of those unexpected expenses. Most people move every 10 years or so. So tip number two is to look at a house that works for you for the next 5 to 10 years. The point is to buy a starter home. Buy a home for what you need right now or the very near future. Home ownership is a long-term investment. However, you don't want to look at this home as your forever home. You want to look at it as an investment where you will gain about 2 to 3% of equity each year, remembering that real estate is cyclical. Right now, here in the Boise area, we are seeing appreciation at about 10% year over year. This is an average of about $21,000 per year. So find a starter house that fits your lifestyle right now, where you can build some equity to use towards your next house as your finances and lifestyle change. All right, tip number three, make sure you have an emergency fund. Most experts say that you should have a 6-month emergency fund. Now, this may mean that you need to save for a little bit longer before you buy your home. But doing so, being responsible with your finances, purchasing a home that allows you to continue to save and make progress on your long-term goals, like funding your retirement or buying rental property, these are things that will allow you to increase your wealth and give you the ability to afford to do the things or buy the things that make you happy, like your dream home. Bonus tip, if you are saving for a home, take advantage of Idaho's first-time home buyer savings account to get the most out of your home savings. I did a video on that and you can check that video out here. All right, now for the freebie. I created a free home buyer's guide that can help you prepare to take on that next step of home ownership. So click on the link below in the description to get your copy. I hope this was helpful. As always, like, subscribe, and click that little bell. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.